Sport is the ultimate analogy for our complex lives. The lessons from sport help make good people better. We can achieve our potential.
Attention. Here we go, boys. Clear through. Push your legs. Push it clear. Nice composure.
But the Americans and the British, they start charging.
And they're charging fast. You have that lead, but that lead's shrinking. It's shrinking. It's shrinking.
Your arms, legs, and back that have been roasting over a slow flame all of a sudden become hotter. The lactic acid builds up and your brain starts to fog. Your vision starts to get blurry. Stars appear and the color drops out. The peripheral vision eliminates. And all you have is a single tunnel to look down. And as the boats keep charging, you find yourself in fear. You don't know if you're going to win and you don't know if you're going to lose. You have to count incredibly on the trust of your teammates because you know your teammates are trusting in you. And at the point when you feel like you're in the ultimate pit of despair and pain, you hear your coxswain. He's the little guy who sits in the front of the boat. He's your steersman. He's your coach. He's your motivator. He comes over the speakers and he simply says, "Come on, boys. 5 more strokes and you're Olympic champions." It's at this point when all the darkness seems to dissipate and it feels like this beam of light has opened from up above and it anoints you and chills start to run up your spine. You feel like you can do anything. You feel like you can do the impossible. And you do the impossible. You cross the finish line as an Olympic champion. And then it hits you. It's not just you who's an Olympic champion. It's your team who is Olympic champions. I'm not going to be talking about training our body at all today, although I will offer an opportunity for a push-up contest.
So our brain is hardwired to use the movement and to use the pumping of blood to increase intelligence.
Go ahead.
I come from a unique team environment. I use this environment not to tell stories about myself, but stories about mentors, stories about teammates, stories about people who have shared incredible lessons with me that I then share with my audience.
And very often when people sit in the stroke seat of the boat, they think they're far more important than when they sit in the bow seat of the boat.
And our coach decided that our boat would be a lot faster if Kevin moved from the stroke seat to the bow seat. And I've seen a lot of people have their roles change like that.
Their body language usually just looks like this. Kevin knew that we all had one goal. We had one higher goal that we all embraced, and that was winning and trying to do the best we could at the Olympics and trying to win a gold medal at the Olympics. He started to think about it. He said, well, because I'm in the bow seat, that means I'm going to be the first person to cross the finish line. Huh? You can see here's a slow replay of the whole. It turns out Kevin takes 1 stroke less than everybody else. I thought it'd be really neat if I could actually show you what it's like to be in an 8.
There's a reason why I didn't go to the Olympics and win the single sculls. There's a reason why I didn't compete as an individual at the Olympics. I believe that I've found through my Olympic journey a perfect allegory to teach people how to maximize their individual potentials. It's about positively affecting the culture of an organization. In Athens in 2004, we didn't really have an ethic of shared leadership. We had leaders in the team, but we didn't have leaders throughout the team. All it takes is one small fracture in a dam for that dam to fail. All it takes is one person, especially a key person, to crack for that entire team to fall apart. Whereas in Beijing, we did have shared leadership. We had a majority of the people on our team, including our coach, were leaders.
When you're successful, something happens and you start to fall apart. It becomes very difficult to sustain a success. We arrived as prime gold medal hopes for Canada, and we lost.
We had this saying in 2008 when we were going to the Beijing Olympics. It's not about redemption, it's about seizing the moment. And that's what resilience in success is about.
And it was one of the best lessons I think I learned and my teammates learned from this experience. It was what I call reflect, learn, grow. Let it go.
By following just a simple process of reflecting, learning, growing, and letting go, we're actually able to move past that pain of failure. It's about seizing the moment. And that's what we did. We were absolutely successful. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the strength to continue that counts. So imagine you're training for the Olympics, and your coach comes up to you and he has to motivate you. What do you think would be one of the most motivating things he could say? I know what Mike would say to me. He'd come up to me and say, "Do you want to win a gold medal at the Olympics, Adam? Do you?" And really what Mike was saying was, if you want to be an Olympic champion, if you want what you say you want, act like it. Consistently. Now.
Anyone I've met who's excellent in any field, whether it be in the arts, whether it be in business, they have a predisposed strength in a given area, and they spend an inordinate amount of time focusing on their skill, developing it. I'm a positive realist, and I try to teach the skills of positive realism.
What we need to do is we need to focus on what we can control and ignore what we can't control. I'm going to share with you a story from one of the most important people in the last 10 years of my life. His name is Mike Spracklin. He was my coach. One day we were at the end of our week. It was about Friday at the end of the training week. We were absolutely tired, absolutely fried. This is when he gave us a piece of sage advice. He said, "When you're in the middle of your piece and you're feeling absolutely knackered," which is British for being tired, "I want you to think that you're not tired." But the real gem of this didn't come from rowing. So many times, it's not as bad as it seems. Try using the positivity switch every once in a while. Get back in check with reality, and don't let the negativity of your mind restrict you. Then imagine what you can control. Sport is the ultimate analogy, right? It's a simplified system that we can take and apply to our more complex lives.
It's about letting go of the success of the past and realizing that you still have to work really hard to keep that success coming in.
It's not about redemption, it's about seizing the moment.
It's about positively affecting the culture of an organization.